Hello, and thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time at my little channel, I say welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back with many thanks. Okay, and I hope this is finding you well. If this is your first time here, the only uh, rule you have to be civil. If you disagree with me, and you're allowed to, this is America, you can disagree with me, but please do it in a kind fashion. Okay, fair enough? If you like some of the stuff this old guy talks about, please consider subscribing, and by all means, stop back and say hi. Today I wanted to talk about, because I'm seeing it coming up on my feed again, Chris Coleman, Chris Watts, and so I thought, well, I'm going to talk about Chris Coleman, Chris Watts, and number 7. Okay, the number 7 is this: thou shalt not commit adultery. Don't do it. Now, I firmly believe that if these guys would have been God-fearing guys and did not want to commit adultery, that their wives and family would still be alive. I believe that. I'd stake money on it. Okay, but there's like maybe 3, maybe 4 reasons why people, or 3 reasons, yeah, whatever, where people murder: money, power, and sex. Okay, and number 7 is what caused this tragedy. All right. Now, the first one, Chris Coleman, and first of all, if you're not a career criminal and you don't have experience covering up your crime, it's not going to go well with you. I'm saying that not to encourage you to figure out ways of committing a crime, getting away with it. But we have 2 guys here, beautiful families, beautiful wife, beautiful children, all right, that became involved with other women. That's, violating number 7. And the only way they thought, they could have divorced them, but they don't want to pay child support, and they don't, they would take a hit in the pocketbook. So they killed these families. Okay, and these are not very bright criminals, because Chris Coleman had a cop that was a neighbor next door, well, across the street neighbor, and whenever he started receiving hate emails, he showed them to his cop neighbor, and the cop, and then one of these was even stuck in my mailbox. The cop then went in his son's room and put a camera facing Coleman's driveway. Nobody making threats or whatever, nobody like that showed up. So the morning he goes to the gym. Now, if my family was being threatened, I wouldn't be going to the gym. I'd be staying home and watching. Okay, but he went to the gym, and then started calling his wife, to wake up, get her going, or whatever, and there's no answer. So he asked his cop neighbor, would you go and do a welfare check? Well, cops are really good at that. And anyways, to make this story a little shorter, the cops checked and they found the beautiful family dead. Now, it's been proven by the evidence that he killed his family way before 5 or 5:30, because they were cold and they were stiff, and that doesn't happen in an hour and a half. And I know, because as a paramedic for over 20 years, I've seen many dead people in many different states. Okay, that just doesn't happen in an hour and a half. Okay, so whenever they confronted him with the evidence, he was, oh, no, they were alive. Well, make a long story short, he's convicted. He's in jail for life, no parole. But why did this happen? And the same thing with Chris Watts. People were saying, and I'm sorry, I'm dancing around. I'm sitting on my porch. It's a beautiful day. Chris Watts, the same thing, and people scratch their heads and say, we want to find out why this happened. Well, it's really not very difficult. This happened because they were sleeping with other women, becoming really involved. Oh, and then they fell in love, which is a lot of malarkey. Um, and anyways, the only way, if they were to divorce their family, uh, it would cost so much, it would cost too much or whatever. So they felt that, killing their family and being the grieving husband is the way to go. And they did. But think if they would have just obeyed God's command, do not commit adultery. What if they just obeyed that? I really would put money on that their wife and kids would still be alive. Okay, because there'd be no reason to kill them. And, a lot of people knock the Bible. Okay, I say it's inerrant and it's 100% truth, and some people disagree with that. Okay, but looking and studying the Ten Commandments, if everybody followed those commands, what would we have? I mean, we would have a whole lot less, if any, shootings, okay, murders, if we just obeyed. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, they were involved in other women, and they're going to marry them, and they're going to be with them for the rest of their life because this time they're in love. Well, that's a lot of crap, because the first time that they met their wife, the current wife, they were in love. Now listen, there's two things that happen when boy meets girl, girl meets boy, okay? Oh, the attraction and my of it, and they're in love. But I must warn you that is going to wear off. You'll be infatuated for a while, and then your feelings are going to change. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't love your wife or you don't love your husband, whatever the case may be. That doesn't mean that at all. In the marriage vows, it says, will you choose to love them? Choose to love them. And, I mean, I've had problems my wife and I didn't agree on everything or whatever, but I never had any thoughts of divorcing her and becoming involved with another woman because I made a vow before Almighty God that I was going to love this woman through thick and thin, okay, for better, for worse. I'm going to do that. I didn't fall in love. I fell into infatuation, and then I chose and grow in love. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but love sometimes is not a feeling. It's not a, like, oh, it tickles every time I kiss you. No, that's false. That's infatuation, and then you grow into love. But these two clowns, they met these women, and they're not the only ones. There's many family annihilators, and most of the time it's either done for money or sex. Most of the time, they because they're in love. Oh, this time it's for real. Well, don't you remember when you first met your current wife? It was for real then. So what happened? No, you grow in love. And it's not always going to be peaches and roses, okay? There's going to be a lot of times where you don't feel anything sometimes. You just don't feel anything. Or you feel like you might have made a mistake. That's natural. That happens, okay? But believe you me, when you decide to walk away and get involved with another person, you are just in the most effective way, you are screwing your life up. Okay? And that's a fact. Now, I know I've heard it said to me by one, I think it was a girl, she left a comment. She says, that, oh, you old man, you don't know anything. I wish you would be watching this video, and I say, honey, everything that you're going through, I've already been there, all right? And I'm speaking from life experience. I've already been there. You're not going to tell me anything that I've never heard or felt, okay? Because I've been alive 67 years, I've got some dust on my saddle. So anyways, so listen, I'm going to cut it there. I just wanted to just talk a little bit about these two. There's many beautiful families, but these two families that have been snuffed out, if they would have just followed, the commandments, not going to involve with another woman or whatever, they would not be in prison. They would be enjoying their family as they grow up, okay? So if you're married, and sometimes you feel like, I just don't feel, you can't trust feelings. You cannot trust feelings. And there's going to be days, like I said, where you're going to feel, oh, you're dead, and I don't feel. That happens. That's normal, okay? And it'll go away if you work on your relationship, okay? That'll go away, all right? So anyways, okay, I just wanted to touch base about that. But in the meantime, I'm going to close. In the meantime, I want you to, like I said, please consider subscribing, all right? Please take care of yourself, okay? You are valuable. Please take care of yourself. We'll see you very soon. May God bless you, and I love you. Bye-bye. Oh, one more thing. I'm kind of miffed or whatever because my kids and my pastor said that I look like the Pope. Oh, I don't know. But anyways, so Pope Leo is signing off right now, okay? And you take care of yourself. I love you, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.